Work for it, ride for it, I'ma organize for it. Stay up in the night and in the morning I'ma rise for it. Heart for it, mind for it, ears for it, eyes for it. Peace and a place on this earth for me and mine for it. Work for it, ride for it, I'ma organize for it. Stay up in the night and in the morning I'ma rise for it. Heart for it, mind for it, ears for it, eyes for it. Peace and a place on this earth for me and mine for it.
Hey, peace. Thanks for tuning in to the Money, Power, Land, Solidarity podcast. I want to share a reflection on how these networks of soft power are formed and maintained. Nonprofit and foundation management receive a salary that separates them from most working class people in the city and places them in a different world from the poor, unsheltered, and hyper-exploited. This level of nonprofit and foundation administration are among the petty bourgeoisie class, homeowners, some who own multiple properties, who take the same vacations, eat at the same restaurants, buy the same brands, and have the same incentive to maintain the status quo as their counterparts in the public and private sectors, despite the nonprofit mission to ostensibly be shifting the status quo. The capitalist class created foundations in the nonprofit sector to exert control over social movement and to ensure they never threaten real change, never develop anti-capitalist consciousness. One way that foundations exert control is by professionalizing activism, creating a layer of paid professionals to gatekeep and manage poor people seeking change. The nonprofit industrial complex meshes this managerial class into the social nexus of city administrators, elected officials, and representatives of private capital like the Chamber of Commerce, corporate reps on boards, etc. This alluring professional social environment disciplines nonprofit staff into the capitalist ideology and political consensus required for career advancement. It looks a little something like this. The executive directors go to conferences with the grant managers, who go to happy hour with the policy aides, whose boss is the city council member, who sat on an equitable growth panel with the VP of innovations at a Fortune 500 company. And afterwards, they all went for drinks with the deputy director of the City of Minneapolis Division of Landlord Support, who just so happened to cut his teeth at the same Fortune 500. Thus, the social fabric of the managerial class that administers capitalist domination at the local level is woven. The ideological and political norms encouraged by this professional social nexus of relationship is of course backed by the raw power of the purse. The lifeblood of the nonprofit economy is foundation dollars controlled by the boards of corporate foundations. The salaries and contracts that fuel the petty bourgeois lifestyle are conditioned on being in good graces with the ruling class foundations. If leaders of organizations step out of line, the dollars stop flowing. As the summer of 2020 proceeded and the struggle over encampments in Minneapolis parks intensified, these reactionary networks of soft power and hard power worked together to isolate, demonize, and evict unsheltered people from